Woman King is, woo, okay, you know what? I got a little bit too excited there. The Woman King is a new historical action epic that is directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. She directed Love and Basketball, if you're looking for something more recent of hers. The Old Guard on Netflix, she directed that. You've got Viola Davis, you've got John Boyega, you've got Thuso Mbedu, I think that's her name, and I'm pretty sure this is her first acting performance. Lashana Lynch, Sheila Atem, I mean, the list goes on. There's just a bunch of really talented people working on this movie. The best way I could describe this movie is that it takes place in the 1800s in the African kingdom of Dahomey. This movie focuses on the Dahomey Amazons. They are called the Agoji. They are led by Viola Davis. She's like their leader or their queen or whatever. This movie deals with the Agoji defending their king and their kingdom from an ongoing threat, a rivalry with another tribe and another empire. While also dealing with the ramifications of the slave trade that was ongoing at this time, as well as recruiting some new recruits to fight for the Agoji in the oncoming war. I absolutely and unapologetically love the large number of dark-skinned black people, black men and women, that are working on this movie. It's a very prideful feeling watching a movie like this. Truth be told, other than movies like, you know, Black Panther, I don't see a lot of movies like this. I don't see a lot of movies where you have like a 95 to 98% predominantly black cast, a lot of dark-skinned actors and actresses, and it just makes you feel a sense of accomplishment when you watch a movie like this. It makes you feel triumphant. And if there is one word to describe a movie like this, it is triumphant. This is a powerful, emotional action epic with some of the best performances that I've seen in a movie all year long. Beyond the black excellence that is just permeating through every crevice of this movie, there's also just overall excellence, like in terms of how the movie's made, the aesthetics, the culture that they're tapping into here with Africa. When it comes to the costume design for this movie, it is nearly flawless. Like some of the best outfits, some of the best drip that you're gonna see in a movie like this. Like I walked out of this movie going, why the fuck am I not wearing some of the outfits that these people are wearing in this movie? No, actually, the real reason is that I'm kind of poor compared to the people in this movie. Everything from the makeup to the jewelry, everything that was used to capture the aesthetic of Africa and that culture, it's all on point here. And it's all done with such detail and such passion. The hymns, the chants, and the cries that were used to build up the African sound of the musical score. The attention to detail is especially seen in the cinematography, the way that they capture the beauty of the landscape and the wilderness and the wildlife. Then again, the cinematography's attention to detail is even more prevalent when you get to the action sequences. Now, I'm gonna be selfish here for a second. I do wish that some of the action sequences had gone further and there had been a little bit more carnage, a little bit more gore. Maybe that just says something about me and the kind of person I am. But it's really just because the action that you see in the movie, you can tell that it was filmed to be PG-13, but the type of action it is, it could be rated R. But you know what? That's just a nitpick. Putting aside rated R, PG-13, whatever, there are some epic ass action scenes in this movie. There's so many thrilling and exciting battle sequences. I love the fact that the camera is tight to the action. It's in camera, it's focused on what's going on. You can see the stunt work, you can see the choreography. It's just a huge sense of glory and like primal that you feel when you're watching the action. All of the performances up and down the cast, everybody is tremendous here. John Boyega is this pragmatic king, this new ruler who's trying to make the best decisions possible. I like the fact that the film kind of taps into the politics that are affecting his character and the decisions that he makes throughout his kingdom. Lashana Lynch is an actress who has impressed me a lot over the last few years. She might have been my favorite character in this movie, and this is definitely one of her best performances. Sheila Atem is great. Thuso Mbedu, I think that's her name. It's hard to believe that this is her first acting performance. She was sensational in this movie, but all the praise in the world has to go to Viola Davis. There's not much that I can say about Viola Davis that has not been said before. God damn it, I'm gonna say it again anyways in this movie. She is transcendent. She is incredible. She is so powerful, powerful beyond measure in a movie like this. If you're not gonna watch the movie for anything else, watch it for Viola Davis. She is in complete and utter command here. The story does go into some conventional areas. You know, there's gonna be some cliches that maybe hold it back in your eyes. There's also a very powerful emotional core to the story here. This is a story about family and about togetherness and unity, but it's also a movie about trauma. It's not just about the trauma of war, which the movie does not shy away from, but it's also about self-inflicted trauma. And the movie taps a little bit into generational trauma too. Like it has a little bit of everything when it comes to the story. And because of the emotion of the performances in the story, and because because of the likability of all of the characters and the action, I was completely engaged for the entire runtime. There is a romance that is in this movie that exists between two characters that I felt was very undercooked and very underdeveloped. I'm sorry, it's just one of those romances where you feel like there's just no real spark there. There's nothing really that gets you invested in this romance, and it doesn't really lead to anything. Of course, if I'm reaching a little bit, I could probably say that the romance itself is not the point. It's really more of the idea of what the romance represents in terms of the Dahomey Amazons and the life that they've chosen and some of the sacrifices that they've made. But again, the movie doesn't really make this a talking point, so I can't really say that that's what they were going for. I hope that's what they were going for, but even if that's what they were going for, they could have gone for it a little bit better than they did. Some parts of the story are going to feel conventional or feel a little bit too Hollywood. I think the thing that I'm going to be more disappointed with this movie is the liberties that it takes with the source material, the period that they're depicting, the people that they're depicting. They do touch on the moral ambiguity in the movie, but the movie itself does not feel morally ambiguous. Like, it's very clear who you're supposed to root for in a movie like this. I wish that the movie had kind of delved a little bit deeper and a little bit harder into the darker history of the Agojie and the Dahomey Kingdom in general and their role in the slave trade. Like, I do wish that the film had hit that point a little bit harder. I'm gonna appeal to the horny demographic too. If for nothing else, there is a whole bunch of ass on screen in this movie that if you're interested in that kind of thing, I mean, not me though, I'm a man of integrity, and that's not even close to one of the reasons that I was invested in this movie. Anyway, let's get to the rating. The Woman King was bombastic and epic. It is an amazing action film, and it's gonna get the highest rating that my channel has to offer, Superman Prime. What are some of your favorite action epics of all time? Leave that in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.